and welcome to this show with myself and Lynda. Lynda, hello.
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Stephen?
5 minutes ago, we had a technical problem that's since been resolved. It was one of those things. So, but on the whole, I'm doing good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This new platform, I haven't even heard of this one before. You got to tell us a little bit about it.
Right. Okay. I did a video last year about this very platform, and it was called Melon 12 months ago. And if I go here, it was, well, if I can go to movies, just let me go to videos and then we'll show people. 12 months ago, this is what happened. Hello, this is Stephen and it is live production week day 3, and today we're looking at Melon. And I'm just going to close a couple of tabs so that we don't get interrupted by Messenger. And there we are. Okay, now as you can see, top left, if I can hide myself and I can bring myself back on screen. Basically, people appear down the left hand side of the screen and you can bring them onto screen just by pressing the button. Above that, you have the ability to invite guests, and you just send people a link by email or by Facebook Messenger or any method you want, and they will appear in your studio and you can bring them on screen. Now, down the left hand side, you have all the assistance buttons for information. That was a year ago. And
awesome.
It was then known as Melon. The system we're on today was known as Melon, but it was developed by a team from StreamLabs. And last week, StreamLabs took a decision to rebrand it. So it's now called StreamLabs Talk Show, which is a bit more of a mouthful than Melon. Melon is nice and easy to say, but it doesn't say what it does. Yeah, I mean, if I talk to you about a melon, then you're talking about fruit.
A fruit. That's right.
That's right. So it was confusing everybody. So they've changed it over, and now it is called StreamLabs Talk Studio, and that's where we're broadcasting today on day 4 of live video production week. In fact, I think if I go down here, I think they've changed things around. Okay, anyway, the reason for being here is twofold. One, to take a look at Talk Studio, but the second is to talk about what's happened. Now, if we go back a couple of years, and you and I have been talking, we've been talking about live video, but it's not so anymore, is it? Because you've sort of gone into a brand new arena.
Yes,
okay, so
completely.
All we know at the moment is that you're based in San Diego. You've been broadcasting with the live video production team for the last 5 years, but now you have a new calling. Would you like to tell us more about it?
Yeah, definitely, Stephen. First, thanks for doing this. This is awesome. I love the live stream video weeks. These are very informative, and it's interesting. First, I want to take note that there are so many live streaming platforms out there. When we first started live streaming, all I knew about was Facebook Live. Like I could break out my phone and do a live video. And now there are so many to choose from. So it's just a plethora, which makes it a lot of fun for those, especially those who love the live streaming and love to try new things. And Melon, now this new platform, here, whatever, I can't remember the name you called it already, but the new platform here, it's just another addition to what's out there and available. So I've moved on to doing book publishing, and this is something that I kind of fell into on accident. About 7 years ago, I decided to, move into publishing my own book, and from there, I decided to do a collaboration book where I brought other people into the books, and I was just doing it for fun. It was just a fun project, something to do, in addition to all my other things I was already doing. And I had so much fun with it. And we hit #1 international bestseller status in under 5 hours in 2 of our books. And that was at the point that I said, you know what, I'm going to do this full time. And that was only a year and a half ago. And since that year and a half ago, we've published 15 books, 15 best-selling books. And so I've moved into book publishing full time. And what's cool is I can use all the knowledge that I gained through the live videos, that I've done, use that knowledge into my own business and pull that into it. So I don't have to be doing live videos only, which is what I was doing for a long time,
Right.
is teaching people how to do live videos. So here we are. Now we're doing book publishing. I'm so excited. We have 3 books that we're launching between now and July 11th, and potentially a 4th
Right.
by July 15th. And we just keep moving forward. It's been amazing.
Brilliant. We say hello to Nick, who's watching us. So hello, Nick. And somebody's watching us in the group. And we say, hi, you amazing peeps. So no idea who you are. If you give permission, which I think is in the link up above, or it might not be. We don't know. We're on a voyage of discovery today, because this is a studio that's not yet used on a regular basis. But nevertheless, it is a good, solid studio from StreamLabs. We know StreamLabs predominantly for gamers, but this is for everybody. Right. So now, supposing I was an author, what steps do you take me through to get the book from being an idea to being a reality?
Oh, I love this question. Because in the book writing process, it's different for everybody. And as far as, if you're going to write your own book, you definitely want to start with the end in mind. Just like a lot of things in business, we start with the end in mind. We have to figure out where we want to go in order to get there, like setting our GPS. And so when you know what the end result is, for example, if you're writing a business book, let's say, Stephen, you decided, I'm going to write a book for live streamers talking about all the different platforms that are out there so I can give them an introduction to all these different platforms. You would start with the end in mind. What do you want out of it? What's the result that you yourself want out of it? Because for the readers, they're already going to gain that knowledge from you, that vision. They're going to gain all that from you. But what do you want from it? Do you want it to turn into clients? Do you want to get speaking engagements? Do you want to get this help you to get yourself on podcasts? Do you have a course that you're launching? So really think about that end result that you want the reader to move into after they've read your book. So once you've started there, now you can kind of go back to the beginning and decide, what it's going to look like as far as writing the book. We're actually hosting right now a 150-day book writing challenge that we just launched this week on Tuesday. And we're doing 150 days, which is kind of crazy for me because my company is called Action Takers Publishing. So I'm all about taking action. And for me, 150 days is like an eternity, so to do the 150 days, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see what this adventure turns into for us. But not only that, is to see how many people are able to get their books published during that time. So once you have that end in mind and where you're going with it, then you sit down and you figure out what's the message I want this book to convey, and how am I going to get there? Am I going to share stories? Am I going to share case studies? So just thinking out the process of what it's going to take to get there. In our challenge, I shared some really great tips that can help you to get your book written a lot faster. If you want to join us in there, you should join. You just join us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, indeed. So it's still open. We can still join.
Yes. Oh, definitely. You can join up until the 149th day. If you want.
Right. Okay. So it's very flexible. It's very flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Nick's just said 150 days, and it would take him a year, which is not bad either, just for getting a book out. But some of the books that you do are collaboration books. How do they come about?
Yeah, I love the collaboration space. I've been like a connector, connecting people all the time. I've been doing this for many, many years. And because of that, coming up with the collaboration books, also known as anthologies, they go by a whole bunch of different names out there. But really, it's just a collection of people coming together to share their own stories. And so, for example, I'll use this example here. One of our first books was called Footsteps of the Fearless. And this book was an entrepreneurial journey. And so, not Footsteps of the Fearless Entrepreneurs. Footsteps of the Fearless was the first book I was in. This was the book that started it all. But the Fearless Entrepreneurs, what we wanted in this book is we wanted people to share their journey. What has your entrepreneurial journey been like to get you to where you are today? And so it's just everybody sharing their own journey. So what I love about these books, these collaboration books in particular, is that you're with then, anywhere from, I've seen collaboration books as few as 10 people, all the way up to 150 people. There's a collaboration book I'm part of that is 150 people in that book. So if you think about it, you're in this book that has a theme. So this one, Fearless Entrepreneurs, and it's a theme. And then all the people in the book fit that theme, which means that you can connect with those like-minded people. So that's one of the reasons I absolutely love the collaboration space. And then in addition to that, everybody just shares their own story. It's your journey. What is your journey? What is your story? There are different collaboration books that do different things. As I shared this one here, Footsteps of the Fearless. This is the first book I was in. This is what started it all back in 2015. And that book is written, it's more like a whole story. It's a parable. So each author comes into the story, like in chapter 1 comes this person, chapter 2 comes that person. So it's not your whole story, because it's a story and then you're part of the story. Whereas our books are kind of like Chicken Soup for the Soul, where everybody writes their own message, their own story. So I love it so much because we're bringing people together. We're making a community within the book. And then we have our big community of all of our authors from all of our books. So it's just opportunity to connect with like-minded people.
And talking of connect, you do actually use live video to bring people together.
Yeah, definitely. I use I use a lot of live video because it's one of our greatest ways to connect with people. And so we use not only Zoom, but I use StreamYard, which is my preferred platform. Mm-hmm. I decided to stick with one because Stephen, when we first started doing these live video productions, I was like, I got to try this one. I got to try that one. And I kept trying all these new things, which is fun because I love trying new technology. But I also found that I was so easily distracted, having these squirrel moments, and that I was getting distracted there instead of coming back to like, what do I really need to just hone in on and focus on that one thing. So live video, I do a lot of it. I just did one yesterday inside of our group for the challenge. I did one the other day in the challenge. I do them on my personal timeline, LinkedIn. I do them everywhere. I love, I've done over 6,000 live videos. So it's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Shout out to Marco Novo, who currently, I envy him. He's in Monaco, in the south of France, on holiday, I presume. But Monaco, before he went, he did do a session on Monday all about StreamYard, which you just mentioned. So if you want to know more about StreamYard, Lynda is a power user, and Marco did a 1-hour show on Monday, which will let you know all about the ins and outs of StreamYard. And today we're actually on. We're going to get to grips with this name, Lynda. I've decided it is StreamLabs Talk Studio. Shall I put it down just a minute? Let's see if I can find the text, because it's got everything in here. So the original ones. I can put this on screen. You are watching. See, because at the top. Yeah.
Okay.
I can go like this. I can put it at the bottom, which is where we'd expect to find it.
Right.
Okay. So Stream Studio, we found that bit.
Yeah. I'll give you a little bit of history on StreamYard, Stephen. I was there to do a live stream on a cell phone. I was their very first person to do that because they said, we don't have it available for cell phones yet. And I thought, what if I just log into my Chrome browser on my phone and I go live, because what I did is I logged into my account and I went live on my phone. It was very small and very hard to see because, you're on your phone, you have this huge studio there and everything. But I was the very first person to go live. And then I went ahead and I invited both Dan and Gage, who are the founders of StreamYard. I invited them onto my live video. Here I was going live. It was a lot of fun just to be like, wow, I'm the first one, That's fun.
Oh, that's why we try all the different systems, because there is something about actually being the first person to actually try it. And StreamYard, StreamYard has grown a bit since it first came into our lives.
A little bit. It blew up, man.
It bought out and now part of Hopin with amazing technical resources and able to do anything they want, really. When you think it just started with 2 people. We used to watch the show and they were in their homes, and they were so small on screen. They didn't want to get on camera, but they had to. And now you can't get them off screen, and they're both up there on screen. So StreamYard has been an excellent system.
Oh, I'm going to share another funny with you about that. Just because I'm just thinking about this. They didn't have a Facebook group because they didn't know about Facebook groups, because they weren't Facebook people. And I said, you need to create a Facebook community, so this way you can get your community together. So I went ahead and created their Facebook community, and I was the one who had I had this idea of what if we do weekly things where people, pop in what their streams are and stuff. So it's like you mentioned, Stephen, it's fun to be at the beta version of things, because we get to test them out. We get to give suggestions, recommendations on what to do. And I love doing beta testing on all kinds of systems. I don't know, I guess I'm kind of like one of those geeks that way, but whatever. I like it. It's fun.
As you said, we're actually spoiled for choice. And somewhere around here, in my studio, just a minute, I might be able to get this on screen. You never know.
Okay, let's see what happens.
And just see what happens. So I'm going to share.
I want to address Nick's comment, because he said, I think it would take me 365 days at least, to write a book. And like Stephen mentioned, the thing is, there's a saying by Zig Ziglar, and that's we don't have to be great to start, but we have to start to be great. And so as far as getting your message out there, getting your book out there, just get started. And that's what our book writing challenge is all about, is about getting started. And as I mentioned, we do provide a bunch of techniques that you can use that make it simple. And that was one thing that I think was the greatest takeaway that a lot of the people had on Tuesday when we had our live stream about, the starting the challenge, is that, wow, you guys just broke it down into a way that it makes it palatable and it makes it not seem so daunting, because it doesn't really have to be daunting. We as human beings tend to blow things way out of proportion. But when we can really break it down into each little step, no matter what it is, whether it's the live streaming or the book writing, or, maybe you're doing script writing or you're starting a business, there's all these little steps that come into play. And so if we can look at it as one step at a time, really that's the easiest way to get started. And I wrote my book. So after I was in this book, Footsteps of the Fearless, which is the collaboration book that got me started, I then wrote my own book called The Year of Fears. I started writing it for a year and a half. I started it, because I wasn't really much of a finisher at that time, Stephen. I mean, you might not realize that about me, but I wasn't always a finisher. And so I met a coach, a book writing coach, about a year and a half into starting my book. And she taught me this simple technique. And so I ended up sitting down and I wrote the book in 1 week, but it's because I had a framework. I had a system, and I utilized that system, and I really made that commitment for 1 week to get the book done. Now, not everybody will get it done in a week, and I know that, and that's why we're doing 150 days, because some people might need more time. But really, it's a matter of just knowing knowing where you're going, and then you just got to know where to start and get started and go.
All right. Now, just humor for a moment. We're in the studio, and we're in Talk Studio from StreamLabs, and we're getting used to things. Can you just basically, what's happening is your book titles are going back to front. Okay?
Yes.
The wrong way around. So if you go down to video at the bottom, and click the arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, mirror. There we go. I did select mirror. That's funny because, okay, so I'll share this with you because this is cool. I had selected mirror my video, and which actually made me opposite. Like, this is mirrored for me, but the words have to be non-mirrored.
Great.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Another step forward. Brilliant. Okay. I mean, it is. We've got sort of throughout these broadcasts on Live Video Production Week, we've been able to experiment and just try things. I mean, we know how to use systems, but what we're actually doing is we're making mistakes on purpose. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. But the thing about live videos, it's never going to be perfect, is it? I mean, that's the whole point of doing live video, because at some point in the show, something's going to go wrong. Like 5 minutes before we came live today, you couldn't hear me.
Not at all.
That's because my system had decided to make a change, and you've got to track it down. I had 4 minutes to do it, and we made it with about 10 seconds to spare. So you can have some amazing rides, right? Okay, so this week, Live Video Production Week. Monday was StreamYard with Marco Novo, who's currently in Monaco. Tuesday was Be Live with Nick Wood. Both those recordings are actually available. And yesterday was Wave Video. Wave Video. And that recording will be available soon. And today is StreamLabs Talk Studio. Now, big news is that the OneStream show is tomorrow at the same time. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. And we have one of the co-founders of OneStream on the show. And there will be giveaways. So, exactly. In fact, I can go here. Just a minute. Okay. I can do this.
We got a minute. Now, was that part of StreamLabs or?
Yeah, it's part of StreamLabs.
Oh, how fun! Yeah. Okay, cool.
I'm not going to play them all. I'll just play one more. Okay.
That's the one I want to hear. The laughter.
Audience reactions. That's the big news. That tomorrow will be joined by the co-founder of OneStream. I think it's one of the few interviews he's ever done.
Awesome.
Probably the first time you've been. It's the first time you've been interviewed for a while, is it? Or do you regularly?
From you, yeah. No, I have. Fortunately, have been interviewed hundreds of times. So I get interviews at least once to 3 times a week now, and it's been incredible. But it's through that journey of putting myself out there. And live videos, one of the ways I've done that is, putting myself out there. There was something you mentioned, Stephen, that I thought was interesting that I wanted to take note of. As you said, we're getting up here. Like, we know that there's going to be mistakes. We know that. And because we know that, we don't stress out about it. We just kind of chuckle and we like, oh, let me figure this out, And a lot of times the reason why people won't do a live video is because of their fear of messing up. And just embrace it. Know that you are probably going to mess up. And then, what are you going to do when you are in that messed up state? Instead of getting flustered and frustrated and everything, it's just kind of laugh through it and just tell everybody, heck, I don't have any idea what I'm doing. People will appreciate that, coming from a place of vulnerability.
Yeah, I broadcast on Amazon Live, and I show product like these wonderful headphones. But occasionally I will lose something on my desktop and I'll start talking about it and I can't find it. So you've got to talk your way out of the situation. Any situation you get yourself into, you can talk your way out of it. Just bluster. Yeah. And it tends to work. Don't panic. Never panic. I mean, we did a show many moons ago called Just Do It, where we urged people, rather than you urged people, I was one of the people, just do it rather than thinking about it, because thinking causes problems, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, especially if it's the wrong kind of thinking. Especially, yeah. I love that show, and we had some times where I was at that time. part of it, I was living in this very rural area, and literally, I can't remember the name of the movie, but there was a movie with Robin Williams where he took his cell phone and he was holding it up and he was trying to get that one spot of signal. And that was literally what it was like at the house I was living. But sometimes the signal would move in the house, I guess because of satellites or something. And so I'd have to find that spot, like throughout the day, I'd have to find that spot. So I kept on, trying to move to places where you and I could connect and you could hear me. And so I did a lot of videos out in the field or in my car and sometimes out in a park. I would just have to find a place that I could get an internet connection. It was crazy, but we just did it.
We did. I mean, we knew we were going to go live and we wanted to go live. So we did. And various locations over the shows that we did. And that's they say that's the failing. That's why going live, there's only a small percentage of people who actually go live, when in actual fact anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I did a broadcast yesterday, which was basically about live selling. Now, I'm not a salesman. I would run a mile from trying to sell something. At least that's what I thought. And then 20 months ago, Marco said you should be on Amazon Live, on Amazon.com, selling Amazon products. I thought about it, but I eventually said, just do it. I mean, what can possibly go wrong? And I've got to say, this is a true story. The first show, because you've got to do 90 minutes to actually get qualified, because they look at what you do and say, right, you can join us or you can't. Because what they're doing is giving you free license to go live on Amazon.com, the world's third largest website, whenever you want. So they've got to be sure that you're not going to sort of be to the detriment of the platform. You're not going to do things that they don't expect. So I thought this great big Amazon.com, third largest website in the world, and I'm going to be there and I'm going to go live. I've got to say, I frightened the life out of myself. I went live because, as you say, we've done loads of broadcasts, but I went live on Amazon.com, and in 2 minutes I was out of there. I'd scared myself so much that the broadcast only lasted. Yeah, which can happen to any of us. It wouldn't happen now, but it happened then. And then I did an 87-minute show with Marco, and that got me over the 90 minutes, and I qualified, and that's 19 months ago. And I'm thoroughly enjoying being on Amazon Live. And it just shows, I mean, we can get nervous, can't we? We are nervous when we go live. There's bound to be some nerves. And say goodbye to Nick, who's been supporting us through the broadcast. Nick, thank you. And Nick is also saying, great show. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
I like how Nick said, I make so many mistakes. People now think it's scripted. I didn't see that on the screen earlier when you had it, but that is so funny. I love that. That's hilarious. And, it's interesting, Stephen, is just so you know, when I speak, I hear a little bit of feedback on your end, just so you know, and I don't know what's causing that. Maybe that's that echo cancellation option, right? Or something. Do I need to hit that?
I don't.
Well, I have mine on. So
Just
I'm not sure. Okay, we're testing here. Please hold. Okay, I'll say something now. There's a little bit. So I'm still hearing a little bit of feedback from that. I'm not sure what's causing that. But I wanted to share. Okay, I'll keep talking and then see what happens. Okay, that's better. Whatever you did there. Oh, never mind. Woo! That guy got worse.
Is it back
now?
again?
It's yes, but it's worse. It's louder.
Right.
Okay, like it's bouncing off your wall. Okay, but I wanted to share though about the a little bit of fear going live is that sometimes. You may experience that even if you're very experienced, and sometimes you may not experience that. I don't get nervous at all when I go live, and it's because not only because I've done over 6,000 live videos, but I think a lot of it has to do with I broke through a fear every single day for an entire year, and so what I did during that year is I was able to exercise that fear. I call it the fear muscle. broke through one fear every single day, 365 days in a row. And that's why I wrote this book, The Year of Fears, because it was about breaking through those fears. By the way, Stephen, this book is endorsed by Mr. Les Brown, which is so exciting.
Wow.
But by breaking through a fear every single day, I no longer have those fears. And there was something that Les Brown said to me that really hit home. And that was that, don't let what you want to say get in the way of what the audience needs to hear. And what I heard there was that I'm focusing on me instead of focusing on them. So I truly believe that our fears, a lot of times, our fears are based on our fear of judgment, which the fear of judgment is the number one fear out there. So if our fears are mostly based on the fear of judgment, all we need to do is stop worrying about what other people might think or might say about us. If I mess up, what will they think? If I mess up, how will they judge me? If I mess up, I will no longer be a perfectionist or whatever it is, imposter syndrome. There's so many different ways that the fear of judgment shows up. And so when we start focusing on the audience, what do they need to hear? What's the message that I'm delivering that they're going to walk away with something? So when we can come to it from that perspective, it helps us to maybe not eliminate the fears, but it should lessen those fears, because now our focus is on them and delivering what it is that they need to hear. And so I just wanted to share that, because that was, for me, that was a huge one sentence that changed my perception of how I show up. Don't let what you want to say get in the way of what the audience needs to hear.
Yeah.
Are you there?
Indeed. Am I still echoey?
Not now. No.
No. Okay. I tweaked a few things. The problem I have is that I do 2 shows with people on, but 90% of the shows I do is just me. So when I'm talking, there is nobody, there's no echo. Yeah. So the echo occurs when there's a problem between 2 or more participants. And I use Crisp, because I did a show this morning. Every system's different. This morning was Loving for Britain with Peter in Aberdeen and John in Solihull. And it was episode 378. So we've been broadcasting exactly. We've been broadcasting together for 7.5 years, and I never have a problem on that show. Yeah, and we're still good friends, by the way. In fact, we've become good friends through the live video.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. I mean, that's the other thing about live video, is you meet so many people, and you must be meeting hundreds of people at the moment.
Yeah, it's incredible. We've published over 400 authors, so I've had this opportunity to meet them, and that's like within the last maybe 4.5 years. Just meeting those people right there. But interviewing stars on the red carpet. Again, what can live video? One of the things, like, what can live video do for us? It can get us, seen and heard. It can get our message out there. It can introduce us to people who might not otherwise have met us. Sometimes people will share our live videos, with other people, because they're like, this is a message you need to hear. And then sometimes it lands you on the red carpet interviewing stars. Like that's one of the things it's done for me. And it's really been through becoming comfortable on video. My very first video, I actually, I went and I took note of the date just this week, because I wanted to see what was the first video I ever did, not live video, but video, because this was before live video. And that was, it was March 9th of 2014. That was my very first video. And it was literally 38 seconds long, my very first one, because I was terrified to do it. But I only did it because a young man I know that I've known since the day he was born, he has cerebral palsy. And he asked me if I would do a video for him one day. And so, as terrified as I was, I said yes to him. And then the next day, he was like, Lynda, I really like your video. Will you do one for me every day? And I was like, every day? Of course I will, because it was him asking me. If he hadn't asked me to do that very first video, and then if he hadn't asked me to do one every single day, this is why I've done so many live videos. If he hadn't asked me to do that, I don't think I'd be doing any videos, Stephen. My fear of judgment was so strong, so strong, that I don't think I would be doing any videos at all today if he hadn't asked me to do that.
it takes a certain circumstance, doesn't it, where you actually say, all your fears just disappear for that very moment, and you just go and do it. I mean, I remember that the first broadcast I did, I didn't realise. A good friend was actually broadcasting on Blab back in the day, and he was coming to the end of the show, and he said, "Would anybody like to join me on screen?" And I thought, well, go on then. And before I knew it, I was on screen. That's where my journey started, because there's just 5 minutes on Phil Aston's show. And then after that, I said to my good friend John Upton, let's start a show. And that's where the Blabbing for Britain started over 7 years ago. So it just takes the right place, the right time, and you find yourself involved. Now, the thing is, we said earlier that we're spoiled for choice, aren't we? Because there are so many different systems to use.
Yes.
And if I put this on screen, show this on stream, we've got 5 that we're showing this week. But in order to get the 5, I actually took 2 off. So, there's so many different choices, and they've all got the strengths and the weaknesses. And that's why we're actually broadcasting about them this week, so that we can give you a look behind the scenes so that you can decide which one to use. It may well be you're already using one, but perhaps we'll show you something in one of the other 4 systems which could be a benefit to you, because they all have their own use cases. And it's been quite a week. Just I'm trying to maneuver things right. While I'm here, show a few of the screen displays. If I get to the right section, just a second. The talk side of this show is going swimmingly. The demonstration side of this show, there we are. We can move up there. We can move there. We can go there. So many different presets. And the thing I love, I just hide that for a moment. So hide is, it says your hosts are Lynda West and Stephen Healey. I can actually just do this. I just think that's quite swish. I can just move it to the top of the screen. Hopefully,
that's cool.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You can actually move things about. And this is.
Is it a drag and drop? Is it a drag and drop, or is it a click of the click?
That's right. This is what I sent to you before we went live today, and I can move it. It's just a drag and click.
Okay.
It's so simple and easy to use. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, did you see Memphis? Was it Memphis Horizon? He says that the volume, when you speak, he has to turn up, and then when I speak, he has to turn it back down. Interesting.
This is one of those things. Okay, let's see.
Let me adjust I'm going to adjust my mic volume like that. So Memphis, when you tell us, I just adjusted my mic volume. Can you hear me, Stephen?
I can hear you perfectly. Yeah, in the studio, I don't notice any difference.
Okay.
We seem to be equalized in the studio.
Interesting. Auto adjust mic volume. Maybe that'll do something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. See if that's any better. Both volumes okay for Alec. Okay. And there is. I still do hear a little bit of feedback, Stephen. So I don't know if it's this system or okay. He says that's better. I'm not sure if it's this system or if because you don't have earbuds in or anything. You're catching that feedback or something.
I've been broadcasting without earbuds for the last 7 years. It's peculiar to the set of circumstances we're in the studio. I think there's a conflict somewhere. So my apologies, but we've got so far. So
yeah,
hopefully we can carry on. I'm just going to go down to the chat, and I've got to be honest here. In order to see everything, I need my glasses.
Okay, well, put your glasses on.
I'll put my glasses on now. I can see what I'm doing.
Yay!
Thank you. Yeah, I basically.
Are you able to show us the back? Are you able to show us the behind the scenes, like what it looks like?
That would. Let me just find out.
Okay. Because I'm curious. I never even heard of this one before.
Yeah.
There's still quite a difference.
Basically, we're locked in the studio, so I'm just going to see if I can, and I'm going to go over there, and it might bring two of me into the studio. That's what I'm afraid of.
What is the topic today? What is the topic today, Stephen?
Okay, he's brought two of me into the studio, which is a problem. And Alec's saying both volumes are okay. Thank you, Alec. And Alec is in Sweden, sorry. And Memphis is saying quite a difference. Alec is saying, what's the topic today? The topic today is basically, if I go somewhere around about here, we are talking about, you're watching Lynda and Stephen on StreamLabs Talk Studio. Lynda and I, when we get together, there might be a theme, but we don't do one topic. We have never been known to talk about a single item in one show. We actually go around all around and talk about anything that comes to mind, because we're actually testing and showing you the system as we do. I will do a behind the scenes video, but I think a fair test of the system is to actually use it. Yeah, so we've shown images, we've shown videos, we've shown text. So we are using most of the facilities.
Yeah, Alec, we're kind of like a potpourri. You know, you just never know what you're going to get. Or like life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. And Lynda is a little louder than you, Stephen. So, okay, so still, I even adjusted my volume. So we're testing. There's some different functions on here as a viewer here, or as a guest. And one of those is that I can adjust my volume on the screen here, but it doesn't seem like it's working then, because they're still saying that I'm a little bit louder. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Because I hear you the same as I hear, myself.
That's it. We've got level in the studio. We've got level volume. So whatever's happening is happening on the transmission, because we're live on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. Oh, wait a minute. We're experimenting here. Can you, next to your microphone, the drop down at the bottom, you bring it up and it says which microphone you're using, and it shows the volume that's actually on it at the moment. And underneath, right at the bottom, it says auto adjust mic volume. I've got mine clicked.
Yeah, I had mine clicked before, and that's when we got that comment. So I unclicked it and I adjusted it myself. So I'll do the auto adjust again and see if that makes a difference. We'll see what happens. Okay. But I do notice though, and very interesting, as I see on my screen, you know how the mic spikes. Like I can see my mic is spiking like crazy. I hadn't even noticed that before.
Mine seems to be at the top end as well. So I'm going to switch off automatically just volume. It's very strange. Very strange. We need to investigate that. Oh, wait a minute. I can turn the mic down. How's that sound now?
For me, it sounds the same. I'm wondering how it sounds for everybody else. But they don't want your mic down. They say that you're quieter than I am. That's just because my voice carries.
Okay, I've got 96% at the moment. I'm going to go up to 122.
122.
So I've taken the auto adjust off, and I've now gone to 122.
Okay, I'm going to turn mine down to 30. So I turn my mic volume down to 30, and Stephen is at 122. So curious if we sound the same, testing this out just to see how it works.
Yeah, I mean, in all the systems we've used, and we've used quite a few over the years, this is the first time we've had an audio problem. So I don't know the cause of it. The only thing we can do is further testing. But as for today, we're deep into the show, and we did reboot before the show. We all both started with our computers off and came straight in, and we're here. And
he says that's way better. That's way better. Interesting. Okay, so I dropped mine down to 30%, and yours is up to 120 something percent. So very interesting. So you are able to adjust your microphone on the screen here, and in the studio, instead of adjusting my microphone here on my computer.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things you can't actually test until you're live, can you? Because in the studio, our volume is automatically adjusted. Yeah? So basically in the studio, we can, as far as our audio is concerned, we can test our microphones, test the speakers, put echo cancellation on, switch to stereo audio if we so wanted to, and then we've basically been using auto adjust microphone volume since the beginning. We just switched it off. I've gone up to 122 and Lynda has gone down to 30. So
okay, Alec is suggesting that I go back. So I'm going to go back. Okay, so mine was at 100%. So I'll go back to 100% and see what happens. So I'm now at 100%. I was down to 30 and now I moved it up to 100. So am I too loud still? Or are we about the same level? So that's interesting, Stephen, right? Because we cannot adjust this without being live, because for us it sounded fine. So it's interesting. Don't go back. Go back, don't go back.
Right.
I'll go middle ground. I'm going to go middle ground. I'll go like 65. There we go.
All right.
Try that out.
I'll because we can, I'll go down to, I'll stay at 100 because I was the quiet one.
Yeah, you're the quiet one.
Right. So hopefully we're getting closer. But yeah, I mean, the thing to do to prevent this from happening is perhaps to meet up a quarter of an hour before the show and just do a quick recording, play it back, and then see. That's the way to do it. Because as I say, we've not used this system for a while. We know that it's now changed its name. It's got the full support of StreamLabs, which is a good reason to actually look at it, because they wouldn't have taken it inside StreamLabs unless they saw a future for it. Speaking of which, I've got over here, I actually have, need glasses again, I actually have, I don't know whether you can actually see this or not.
I can't see what you're looking at all.
All right, that's okay, that's true. Oh. I actually have a teleprompter.
A what?
A teleprompter.
What? Okay, so you have to share your screen so we can see what you're looking at.
I can't. Basically, I can't, because the way the system is set up. If I go into StreamLabs, it takes me straight to this studio. So I don't have the opportunity to back out. It gets complicated. Yeah, the only share I can do is of this screen, which would be a picture-in-picture. Let's try that. Let's go for screen share, and let's just see what happens. If we're going to break the system, I might as well do it properly. So we're going to go for screen share, and I understand it's going to be a problem. But I've only got one screen to share.
Dun 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 dun.
It won't let me share it.
Can you take a snapshot of the back behind the screen and then share that image?
Just a minute.
Like that. Just try that, maybe see if that works, just so we can see what it looks like, because now you got me curious, like what's going on, because you keep saying here and there, but we can't see what you're talking about.
Okay.
I want to know.
No, this is rather involved. This is, take a screenshot, okay? Then I'm going over to Google Slides, right? So okay, unless, just a minute. Okay, let's try this then. I think I can do it without going through Google Slides. So I'm going to share screen.
Okay.
Okay, and click there, and I'm going to share a Chrome tab. I understand. I don't know what they're telling me. It's too fast for me. And I'm going to go here and here and then back, and then I'm going to, there it is. That's what I look like. Okay. That's what we look like. That's a screenshot just taken. It's stored on a app called Videocon. So that's it. That's what I see. Yeah,
where is the portion where you hit the like the audience, the audience sounds and stuff like that? Oh, look at all those things on the right hand side. What is that? Schedule.
The sounds are down there, the reactions, and I can go like that. Down the left
Oh,
hand,
we
a quick tour of my studio. Down the left hand side, I've got guests. I can add a guest by sending out a link, which is what we did. Then I've got the video feeds, and there's your camera, my camera, and the screen shares I'm doing, and the Google Slides. And I'm going to hide that. I don't know where that came from. Okay, then over the right-hand side, I've got the chat. Okay, so I can see the comments on the right-hand side, and I can show any of the comments on screen. And is it possible to get a guest on screen from mobile phone? I take that under advisement, Alec. It may or may not be. There is a free trial of this system, and I would suggest. So I think that's 2. Right, so let's catch up. Alex said okay, and then Alex said, "Is it possible to get a guest on screen from a mobile phone?" I think if you sent the invite to a mobile phone, it could come up in a Chrome browser, just in the same way that Lynda got onto StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's that. Okay, then you've got the center screen, which is a display and the ability to have comments. Going down the right-hand side, I know you can't see this, but I can schedule the broadcast. I can design, and I can do, if I go here, I can switch the logo off. So the logo we had in the top right has disappeared. I can bring it back again. I can upload my own and change it and go back to the original. I can change the background color there. And yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I can do overlays. That's probably not the right season to that, because it's getting hot this weekend in the UK. And there are other overlays as well. I can bring in my own. And as far as video is concerned, earlier we brought in the video, and let's just bring in this video. And that video was from Brigitte Limbanda. And I mean, that was our 2022 video. And it's still it's pretty, I mean, it's a labor of love. And it does show that we do look at the different systems during the course of the week. And today we're on, where are we? We're on StreamLabs Talk Studio. You can have virtual backgrounds as well. And I'm going to try this one, and it's going to warn me and say that my browser doesn't support it. So, but that's the studio. That's how it looks. It's clean. All the options are down the right-hand side. The mic and camera are underneath. You can have a second camera if you wish. You can share screen in the normal way. You can have the reactions. And you can play them during the live broadcast. So there we have it.
I'm curious, that button where it says video. Oh, now I'm getting a lot of feedback. That button that says video, how many videos can you have uploaded there? Do you know what the space capability is?
Just let me go down. Maximum 300 megabytes of video. And it looks like the storage is pretty well I would say 20 or 30 videos.
Okay. How many megabytes? That doesn't sound like very many.
300 megabytes, which is about 5 minutes.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
but, I mean, having said that, I've uploaded clips which are longer than that. Yeah, because I've got the full recording of last year's show.
Awesome. I love it. Well, let's see if we can bring Alec up because he wants to try it live if he's still there. Can
Okay,
you give
just a
him
minute.
send him the guest link? How many guests can you have on this platform, Stephen?
10.
10. Okay, cool. Is that 10 total spots? Or because like if you had, I saw you had your screen share was one of the spots. So would that be 10 total spots, including your like slideshow or whatever?
That's a good question. And I'm of the opinion when they say you can have 10 people on screen, you can have 10 people on screen.
Okay.
Yeah, you can have 10 assets on screen at the same time. I know it's a bit confusing, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you know how many in the green room that you can have? Do you have any idea what that number is?
I think 14 in the green room in total.
Okay. What I like about this platform is that everything, like on that right-hand sidebar, it is very clean, like you mentioned. Once you get to know where everything is, it's very clean. I like how they're small instead of you don't have to scroll a long ways to find everything. Everything's like right there at that fingertips. So that's pretty darn cool. There is, for me behind the scenes, I have a button. I'll see if I can share. I'll share my entire screen. Okay.
Just a minute.
Are you able to pull my screen up?
Just a minute. Coming back. I can scroll down and I can show on stream, and I can basically switch my camera off. How's that?
Oh, okay. So I know it's annoying when I share my whole screen, but this is just what we're doing right now. Okay. So check this out. On the top right-hand side, there is a share button, and Stephen has, we're streaming this right now to all these different locations. So I would be able to go back, behind the scenes, and I could go share one of his. Like I'm not on Twitter, so I wouldn't do that. I don't even know what this one is, Stephen. What is that crazy one with the purple? Like, what is that? Is that your blab thingy?
Coming back. Let's come back. The purple, that's Twitch.
That's Twitch. Okay. So if I had Twitch, I could share that one. Then we have LinkedIn, YouTube, and then all the different Facebook platforms. But I just wanted to share that because I thought that's cool that it makes it easy for us as the guest. It makes it easy for us to share the stream. It's just a click of a button. We don't have to go figure it out. So a lot of the other platforms, we have to figure out where to do it. Now, I'm wondering if there is a place for me to, because I didn't see that there was an opportunity for me to be able to share the stream within the platform.
No, I think when you came in, it may have been hiding on that first piece of information you saw, because I didn't set it up so that you can actually share it. So I don't think you can do it after the fact. Alec, I sent you our first ever message on Messenger with my new account. So the link to the studio is there. If you want to click that link, if you want to click that link, you will come into the studio.
It's the real Stephen Healey, not the fake one.
True. That's another story. We've been here, got the T-shirt. Back in January, I was on Instagram, and basically I pressed the wrong button. I answered somebody I shouldn't have answered. I knew it was a fake account, shouldn't have done it. Next thing I knew, my Facebook account has been hacked. Yeah. And my ad account had been drained. And I was due to go live the following day. So I started a battle to get the ad money back, which I won. They sent the money back.
Yay.
Yeah, basically, as soon as you get the limit that you've set, then it's taken out your bank account straight away without question. It's automatic. That's how you set it up. And somebody did what somebody did was took over my personal account, added their company account in, and then spent my dollars on advertising on their company account on Facebook. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It happened to Molly Mahoney as well. And you wonder, how can this happen? Yeah. Why aren't you protected from it? So basically, I had two choices. I was going live 2 days later. I thought it can take up to 6 weeks to prove your Facebook account because you've got your passport, your driving license, and it's a pain in the derriere. So basically, what I decided to do was, okay, just leave the past there and let's move forward. So I started a new account in January. And that's, I've now, basically, it's been a revelation because I now have 500 contacts. And the difference is I know who they are because I actually asked them to be contacts on Facebook. So I've got people from back in 2005 when we were on a UK networking site. I've got people from Blab. I've got friends from live broadcasting. I've got friends, different sections I've met over the years and just built up. So I know who my friends are, which means when I go to my Facebook feed, it's full of posts by my friends.
There we
now,
go.
I'm not suggesting we all kill our current Facebook accounts, and there is a pain to this. And
awesome.
Alex saying, where you send the guest link to, email, LinkedIn, or chat? It's on the chat on Messenger, Alex. That seemed to be the easiest. I think, I'm not sure whether we connect on Messenger. Check your unread Messenger box, but even though I'm talking about problems with Facebook, I actually use Facebook Messenger.
Not arrived. I wonder if it's in his other inbox. He says it hasn't arrived. So are you connected to each other over there?
It's on the standard Facebook Messenger. I will not be a primary. He has to go into the unread box, the messages but not from friends box. Yeah, the one where they dump everything, where people try to contact you when you are not connected. Yeah, because as I say, it's a new Facebook account.
Yeah, the real Stephen Healey. Well, the real Stephen Healey, please stand up. Please stand up. Please stand up. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's terrible that happened to you. That has not happened to me yet. I'm sure at some point it will. Well, actually, my mentor, he had over 35,000 connections on Facebook and woke up one day and his account was deleted.
Yeah.
Just deleted out of nowhere. Yeah. So it's important to get people off of these social platforms and, into your own personal, your personal stuff. So whether it's, if you have like a Mighty Networks or a Circle, like there's all these different platforms you can use, WhatsApp, email, whatever, just get people off of there. And so that way, if you do get taken over, a hostile takeover like Stephen, you can at least still connect with people. I think I need to allow mobile data on Messenger. I'll try and do that. Mobile data on Messenger. Interesting. Oh my gosh, Stephen, I just got this notification that this book here.
Hang on, sorry, just a second. Right, sorry.
This one, Invisible No More, Invincible Forevermore, which was my third collaboration book that I put together, that it was launched 4 years ago. I just got my notification on Facebook that was launched 4 years ago. How cool was that? I didn't realize it was then. No, I put it together then because I launched it a year and a half ago. But that's, right. I love, I don't know, I'm still a Facebook person. I love Facebook. I love how it brings up these memories. And I have so many connections over there that I don't know them all like you know all yours, Stephen. But I have culled the herd a little bit. I had this app a while ago. It was called Unfriend app or something like that. And I literally like erased about 3,000 people from my friends. So it went through and it said, Alec, is that you?
Should be.
There we go.
It is on Messenger.
What time is it? Oh my gosh. I think I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go too. There's this.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just to get practice, I'll do another show on here. I'm just going to stop sharing, come back to Lynda and I. And
Stephen, can you
Okay.
drop just since we're only going to be on here for a couple more minutes, can you drop the link in the comments so that anybody who wants to click on it can click on it? Is that possible?
Okay.
Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to do that? And just so we can see if it works, see how it works since he's on mobile. Mobile data enabled, but won't allow me to read or send. That's really interesting. Okay, there you go, Alec. Click on the link in YouTube. You should be able to see it there. We're testing this stuff out. Get to see how it works. Is this your first time using this platform as this name, Stephen? Because you used it as Melon.
Yeah. Yeah, I use Melon, and the last time I used it was when we went live in...
a year ago.
A year ago.
Oh, okay, so things have changed just a little bit in that year, hopefully.
It has, yeah. I mean, I got a lifetime deal on AppSumo, so I can use it whenever I want. So this is my reserve system. Yeah.
AppSumo. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Indeed. I use BeLive, who I work for, OneStream, who I work for, and then Wave, who I'm grateful to. Those are the three main systems that I use.
Mm-hmm.
So this tends to be outside those three. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically,
that's awesome.
Yeah. Anybody who pays me gets preference. How's that?
That's right. It just works that way. That's the way it works.
Yeah.
I love AppSumo. I had to delete my notifications from it right now because I tend to like go over there and look at everything, and then I want to buy everything, and so I was like, I can't possibly use everything, so why am I buying everything? So I had to just stop my notifications for right now.
Right. So the link is on YouTube. It's on the live video hub with Stephen. So either of those places. I think it's on LinkedIn as well. And that should take you as a guest.
It doesn't show that it's on LinkedIn.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that the wrong link? Oh, just a minute.
It says cloud. Is that the right?
Just a minute. Let me just try again. It's basically, if I go, let's start off on Messenger. Yeah. It's difficult though because we don't.
Here, I put the link in our private chat.
I did put the right link in for Alec, but let's just try again. Yeah.
Yeah, I put
It would be wonderful if we could actually set up and try again. Okay. So that's a studio link rather than a link to a photograph of the studio. But you've now got both. If you click the first link, you've got a photograph of the studio. If you click the second link, you might join us in the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens. Yeah, so what do you have planned for the weekend, Stephen?
After tomorrow, this is a big weekend this weekend. On Sunday, it's a charity event, a 10K, which is for cancer research. And for the last 10 years, Angelica and her daughter Katie have actually taken part in a 10K race, raising money for charity. So that's the big event of the weekend. The other big event is that I actually do, we both go running now, park run. Saturday morning, 9 o'clock, people gather in parks throughout Britain and run 5K, 3.1 miles. Just for basically, you're not in a race, you're betting against yourself, trying to get a personal best. And park run is international. 250,000 people every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Right, I can see someone in the studio.
Okay, let's see what happens. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for joining.
That's awesome. So you're on your computer then, not phone, right?
It was Alec who requested the link, and
mobile, yeah.
Yeah. Well, basically, I just think he just wanted to check out the mobile.
Yeah. So Memphis, what do you have going on this weekend?
Not much.
Sounds like me. Well, actually, we have 4 books that we're working on launching. So I have quite a bit going on. I'll be working all weekend because there's just so much going on right now. But nothing nearly as exciting as Stephen, attending a 10K and then running the park thing. You said every Saturday at 9 a.m., Stephen?
Every Saturday at 9 a.m. There are park runs in the USA. There might even be
Park
one
run.
in San
Never even
Diego.
heard of it.
I see.
I don't know if you knew this, but I've run marathons.
Mm-hmm.
I've run 10 marathons.
Yeah. But
wait, where are you?
This is free. It's free to enter.
Okay.
Yeah, run by volunteers. And as I say, 250,000 people around the world take part in Australia and New Zealand, Japan. Quite a few countries actually take part in this. And it's great because we've now done 28 park runs. Not consecutive, but over the last 6 months, and changed from being couch potatoes to be able to run a mile in 12.5 minutes, which is
nice.
It's pretty good.
Congratulations. Right. That's fantastic. So Memphis, you going to commit to doing a park run too?
I'm not sure I'd make it.
the name park run also includes a park walk. So if you basically, we started off walking. Now we've gone from walking to jogging to running, but you get your own pace. It's not a race. It's just to get out in the countryside and just enjoy it. And I'm just looking and okay.
That's cool.
Quickly. Alec.
Hi.
There we go. We got the mobile going.
Yeah, that was a challenge. It wanted Safari and it came up in Chrome. So I'm actually out on my 1.5 hour walk. I've started this week every day for 10 weeks. Got to lose 10 kilo.
Right.
Fantastic. So he's doing, you should do that, Stephen, instead. You should do the 1.5 hours, 7 days.
I think Steve does enough walking.
Right. Yeah, Ike's right. I've done so far this year, I've walked 680 miles.
Wow.
In 6 months. Well, not 6 months yet. So basically, every weekday morning, 11:30, I get my mobile phone and my headset, listening to rock music, wearing my Fitbit, and I just go out and walk 5 miles. Yeah. And I do that. And if I don't do that, like tonight, when the shows are finished tonight, I'll be getting my running gear on and I'll be running 2 miles in preparation for the park run on Saturday. So exercising is absolutely brilliant. And it's changed everything for Angelica and I. And we're
It's interesting. It's really convenient when I go out for 1.5 hours because I can catch up on all the videos. And I've got a hearing aid on both ears, which is Bluetooth, so I don't have to worry about headphones, earphones. It's in my hearing aid, which is really good.
Right. Anyway. You have inspired me. Not to do an 1.5 hours every day, but you've inspired me to get my ass out and get back to walking.
That's good.
Yeah.
Alec, thank you. Memphis, thank you. You've had a chance to join us on camera, which is absolutely brilliant. I want to thank you for taking that step.
Yes.
Lynda, it's over to you to close the broadcast.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we're able to provide some value for you to just, one of the things Stephen and I talk about is to just do it. So if you're on the fence, you're not sure yet, if you want to do live videos, or if you're not sure which platforms to use, just go try the different platforms that are out there. If you watch the live stream sessions here all week long, you'll see the different platforms and how they work. And you'll be able to decide which one is the easiest to get started. But you know what? The key to getting started is to just getting started. So get yourself out there, get started doing something. And whether it's like a 38-second video, like I did for my very first time, I've done all the way up to 4 hours, Stephen, but it all started with that very first 38-second video. I had to just do it. Get out there, go make a difference, which you are already doing, but make a greater difference by doing live videos. Thank you so much for tuning into the live video production week. Stephen, you got something you want to say You guys send us a
I
commercial.
was going to say, brilliant, and thank you to everybody who's joined us. Thank you for the comments. Take care, and Lynda and I will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
I just got to find the stop button.
He'll find the stop button, then we'll see you later.
We could
We
be
don't know where that is.
sat in the studio for a while. I can see a go live button. It says you can't go live because you're already live.
Okay. Oh,
This is-
shoot. I wonder.
This is definitely a glasses moment.
We might be on here for another half hour. Who knows? We're just trying to find the stop button. Okay, so one key, find the stop button before you go live so you'll know where the stop button is when you are live. Of course, you might not be able to see a stop button until you are live, so that could be a problem right there as well. I didn't see a stop button when you showed us your screen.
No, I didn't.
Maybe you just have to tell it, stop live. You are live. Local recordings in progress.
It just says go live. Broadcast is already live. I mean, they should publish a manual of these things.
This is the best part of the show. I hope people tuned in to the end. You can't figure out how to end it. I don't have another appointment right now, so I can stay here with you for another hour, Stephen. Oh my goodness.
There is.
There's got to be so it's not like a toggle where you toggle off the live stream.
It says no. There's just a go live button. I don't expect that to change color so you can actually stop it. Perhaps people are enjoying this show so much that the people at StreamLabs have actually taken the button away.
What's it called? StreamLabs what?
It's talkstudio.streamlabs.com.
Okay.
And Stephen is trying to. This is just crazy. Okay, so bye for now.
Did you figure it out?
Got that. Okay. Alec is back on YouTube.
Okay, Memphis clicked on leave. That was to leave the studio, but not to shut off the live stream. So are we still live streaming?
I think so.
How do you end? Okay. Stop your live stream. To stop the live stream, click end stream in StreamLabs. There should be something that says end stream.
Does it show a picture at all? No.
No. Let's see here. Why won't stream? How do I enable? How do I end a stream? Oh, end stream button.
Yeah. And Memphis is saying he clicked on leave, but that was fine. But we want to do two things. We want to leave and we want to stop the broadcast.
Right. Go ahead, say that, Stephen.
Yeah, if we don't stop the broadcast, it won't stop. And when we go out of here, we're seeing a blank screen. So I'm just.
Yeah, I had. I remember that one day I was on a live stream with somebody, and they left the studio, so she didn't stop the stream, and I was still on there, and I was like, I'm just going to keep talking because I'd seen this happen before, so I just kept talking, and then about 3 minutes later, she came back because I was on the stream and I was saying, hey, if you can hear me, we're still live streaming, you need to come back into the studios because you need to end the stream, because otherwise it will just have like you said, a black screen for hours, because the streams, at least on Facebook, I think you can go up to 4 hours. I don't know how long the streams are for other platforms, but you definitely don't want that to happen. You don't want to leave the studio instead of ending your stream. You definitely want to end the stream. So that's what Stephen's trying to find. How do I turn off? No. Yeah, the only thing I found there, Stephen, whereas it says end stream, there should be tap the red end stream button. Is there a red button? Do you see a red button anywhere, Stephen?
I don't see a red button. I've got a blue button and it's saying go live, and that's where I'd expect to see, because that's where I started the broadcast. I'd expect it now to be red and just to be able to click it. I'm going to
Does it still say go live?
Yeah. So I'm just going to refresh. I'll be back in a second.
Okay, he's going to refresh, so we'll see if I'm still here. Okay, I'm still here. He's going to see if he can figure that out, because otherwise, looks like you have a melon That's hilarious. Yes, Stephen's coming back. Oh, did I leave? I left.
Right,
Oh, I'm
okay.
back. Oh, look
Now
at now
I'm
we
back.
see your whole orange background there.
Right, we're back. Okay.
There we go. What's all that stuff?
Right.
Now I got to know everything you've got on your desk there.
Now that I've refreshed the studio, I have a red button.
Oh, very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so
refresh.
this is
Okay.
this is what you should try next time, Stephen. Is
Yeah.
when you go live, you should refresh right at the beginning to see if you have that button available to end it. So, okay, everybody, I know I'm live, but I'm gonna refresh right now. I'll be back in a minute to make sure.
Okay.
So, Alex says, "Looks like you have a melon." It's a melon. It's a lemon. Melon and lemon have the same letters in it. Melon and lemon. So it's the same.
It genuinely Alec will tell this story for years. You won't stop us.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. So
cool.
we found in stream. Lynda, fantastic to get together as always. And
Yes.
to everybody who's watching, thank you. Linda's already said the goodbyes, but that was about 10 minutes ago. So from England and the USA, goodbye for now.
Bye-bye, y'all.